Hey guys, welcome to this evening's broadcast. Tonight we are going to be talking about intermittent fasting and insomnia. Now, if you are new to intermittent fasting, you might be suffering some sleeplessness issues, or maybe being able to fall asleep but only needing a couple of hours of sleep, and then you wake up kind of in the middle of the night or at some odd hours. Or you might be a very experienced or advanced faster, and maybe you are suddenly suffering from insomnia. So we are going to be discussing that tonight, and I'm going to give you some possible solutions to kind of help you work through that. So if you are new, my name is Diane, and for the past 25 years I have been helping women with their nutritional plans and fitness programs, and helping them adapt to nutrition plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And for me, the last couple of years, that has been intermittent fasting. If you're new here on Facebook, definitely make sure you hit that like button so you're notified when I go live. And if you're catching this on YouTube, I would appreciate it if you subscribed, and you'll be notified when I upload a new video. I do live broadcasts Sunday through Thursday evening, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and those are always uploaded on YouTube the very next morning. So let's get right into it. A lot of these topics that I do here live on Facebook are generated by you, either my viewers or women who have jumped into one of my intermittent fasting training courses. And when I see that there's a problem coming up frequently, or I get a question about something that someone is kind of dealing with, I always make sure that I try to broadcast these here on Facebook, so that if you are kind of watching by the sidelines and are experimenting with intermittent fasting, and you are suffering from some of these issues, that you will be able to get some answers or some solutions to some things that you might be suffering. So this has come up quite a few times over the last couple of weeks. The question of starting an intermittent fasting protocol, or working through some intermittent fasting protocols, and then suddenly having trouble either going to sleep at night or sleeping all the way through the night. And if you are an aging woman, you might have been suffering from some, bouts of insomnia or restless sleep as part of just the hormonal imbalance that we tend to go through as we start to age and as our bodies change. And then you start fasting and you're like, what the heck? Now I have insomnia again. So what I can tell you is that it's a pretty easy fix once we kind of can identify, where the area is that might be causing you the problems within intermittent fasting. So with intermittent fasting, we tend to become low carb, high fat eaters just naturally, because we end up, especially as we become a little bit more advanced with our protocols, longer fasters and shorter eating window people. So we tend to naturally kind of create a very easy or natural calorie deficient state for our lifestyle, just because we are closing our eating window down to a very specific time, and we're not kind of just free will eating throughout the day. And then as we break our fast, we start to realize that because our body is becoming fat adaptive and very comfortable with not having glycogen stores to burn for energy, and really being able to tap into that body fat and burn it off our bodies as a source of energy, that we become very low carb, high fat naturally, because breaking a fast with a high carb meal will make you feel like you just ate a bucket of candy. Like literally you will feel sick. And if you break a fast with a higher fat meal, then you feel satiated, you need to eat less, and you feel energized, because your body will immediately start using that fat for energy. So all of these things sort of happen naturally when you start intermittent fasting, just because of the lifestyle that you're incorporating and the situations that you sort of put your body in. Well, what that can also do for some people is create some deficiencies in areas. And one of the big areas that we can become deficient in is in magnesium. And that can happen for a couple of reasons, and I'm not going to really go into that tonight, other than the fact that it happens a lot when you're fasting and when you're closing up that eating window. And so what happens is we can become deficient, and then we start suffering the side effects of what it means to be magnesium deficient. So I'm going to go through a couple of some of the symptoms that you might be feeling if you are in fact magnesium deficient, and then we're going to kind of parlay that into fasting and some of the other things that happen with fasting, and then I'll give you some solutions for how to get your magnesium levels up. So if you are suffering from headaches, if you are suffering from muscle cramps, and for women, I know that can happen when we're sleeping at night. We can get those cramps in our legs. If you are suffering from osteoporosis, and surprisingly, magnesium deficiency can yield osteoporosis in our bodies a lot faster than a calcium deficiency. So it's just not something that you hear a lot about. So if you have a family history of osteoporosis, then you might want to consider even incorporating some magnesium supplements just to offset that possibility. If you are diabetic, and a lot of us who end up diving into fasting for health reasons because we've become insulin resistant and we kind of start storing body fat and have the inability to lose weight. So if you are in that situation, then it could also mean that you are magnesium deficient. High blood pressure can also be a symptom of magnesium deficiency, and insomnia, which is the topic of our discussion tonight. And then anxiety and depression can also be one of those signs that you could also be very low in your magnesium. And so those are sort of some of the kind of triggers that your body will send to you to let you know that you are deficient in magnesium. And one of the things that we really go over in my intermittent fasting for today's aging woman group is learning how to listen to those signals that your body is sending to you and not discount them as sort of just an inconvenience or something that is kind of in your way, but really pausing and trying to pinpoint and then connect what it is you're feeling to what's going on in your body so that we can find a natural solution for it. So if you're suffering from any of those things, I mean, there could be a number of things, but if you are incorporating fasting into your life, some of these symptoms could be because you are magnesium deficient. So what do you do to get your magnesium levels back up? You can take a magnesium supplement. That's probably the most obvious and probably the easiest that you can do. I don't have any particular magnesium supplements that I take that I can refer to you, but I always just say look for, a brand that the products that they're using are recognizable to you. I always try to shoot for supplements that are gluten-free, specifically soy-free, so you want to look for that. And then you want to make sure that they're dairy-free as well. And if you look for something on the label that says it's vegan, then that's generally what I kind of decide for my own comfort level as a pretty safe supplement to choose. Another thing that you can do is take an Epsom salt bath. And this can kind of work a twofold solution for an insomnia problem. So taking an Epsom salt bath at night, like a hot bath, right before you go to bed, will kind of relax your body and put it in that state where it can fall asleep easily. And then the Epsom salts actually have magnesium in them. So that will be absorbed through your skin, which our skin is our biggest organ on our body. So your body will absorb up that magnesium, and then that's how you can kind of get your magnesium levels back to a point where you're no longer showing those symptoms or signals of being deficient. So a couple other things, if it's not the magnesium that's causing you to have insomnia while you're fasting, could be the low carb, high fat situation that we tend to put our bodies in when we are fasting. So if you find that you're doing taking some magnesium supplements and the insomnia is still there, then it's best to kind of play with your carbohydrate levels a little bit. And again, what I really try to teach women in regards to doing intermittent fasting, the way I teach it, is to really not follow a diet per se, but create a lifestyle for yourself with the foods that you enjoy to have and the social environments that you like to live in, and then create a fasting environment that works for you so that you get the results that you want. So I never suggest following a diet as designed by someone else, but instead creating a diet that's designed by you, for you and your lifestyle. So if you are going a little bit on the lower carb side, maybe add in a day where you add some more carbohydrates in and see if that might help offset that insomnia situation. And if you find that it does, then what you want to do is sort of cycle in days where maybe you have a little bit more carbs than other days, and just be very particular about which carbs it is that you're going to add into your diet. So When you're adding in carbs, like you don't want to go, off the deep end and, go ravenous on a box of, cookies or a bag of chips or anything like that. You want to make sure that you stay true to what it is that you're trying to do nutritionally for your body, and choose a carb that's going to be good for you. So maybe some brown rice or some quinoa or maybe a sweet potato, and have that maybe at dinner, and then see if that will kind of level out the low carb, high fat situation that could just be making your body off a little bit chemically and could be causing you that insomnia situation. Some other things that you could do is, possibly changing your workout time. So if you're working out, let's say in the evening, and it kind of makes you amped up, then maybe possibly put your workout in the morning. Or if you're working out in the morning, maybe try a couple days of putting your workout in the evening, and just see if that might change things up too. So insomnia is basically just kind of like a chemical imbalance that we're going through, and we need to figure out what's causing that and how to kind of get it back in order. So it is a trial and error, which again is that thing that I try to teach women who are in my groups is, just play with some things in your life and give it about 7 days. I always run things on a 7-day test. So, maybe have a night where instead of sitting on the couch before you go to bed, you draw yourself a hot bath and you throw some Epsom salts in there, and try that for a couple consecutive nights, and then see how your sleep patterns change. If you feel like that they're getting better, then maybe that's exactly what you were missing. I also highly recommend incorporating mineralized water into your day. So I personally love a brand called, I think it's called the Mountain Valley, and it's mineralized water. It's not carbonated. It has sodium and magnesium, and I think it has something else in it. Tomorrow night on my broadcast or my video, I will show you guys exactly the water that I'm talking about. I just get it at my local Walmart store. It's just in the bottled water section, and I try to have at least 1 or 2 of those a day, and I can actually feel a difference in my energy level when I drink that mineralized water. So it's an easy way to get some magnesium into your diet and also get some hydration into you. So that's a good easy way to kind of incorporate some magnesium and see if that might work too. So just maybe adding in a bottle of 1 or 2 bottles of those a day might be enough to kind of get your magnesium levels back where you need them to be, and might help with that insomnia or leg cramps, or possibly even a headache that you might be suffering from. And then again, just play with your workout. So if you work out in the morning and you have the opportunity to maybe switch them to the evening, maybe doing some yoga in the evening, or some light Pilates, or maybe even some maybe go out in the evening and go for a walk or something and get some fresh air. See if that might change some things in your body's chemistry, your body system, so that you can actually relax at night and get some sleep. It's often said that, sitting in front of electronics, a TV, or being on your phone or your iPad right before you go to bed is not good for you if you're trying to get that restful sleep. So if that's sort of a habit that you have, see if you can create a different habit in its place. Maybe read a book instead, or listen to some music, and just kind of quiet your mind down and get yourself to a point where you can actually just lay down and relax. So if you are suffering from some insomnia, it is a very typical situation that intermittent fasters get into, but it's also a very quick fix if you're willing to kind of play around with some things and give it a test and see if your body responds. So again, in review, magnesium deficiency can be that thing that can cause insomnia, and it's very common with people who are intermittent fasting. Some very easy ways to get some magnesium levels raised in your body are by taking a magnesium supplement. Again, I don't have anyone that I would refer you to that I have personally used. But again, look on the labels, just make sure there's nothing in the ingredients of that supplement that you currently do not want to have in your nutritional plan. You can take a hot Epsom salt bath. Epsom salts have magnesium in them, and your body's skin will absorb that magnesium and then help you bring your magnesium levels back up to an efficiency level. You can also drink mineralized water, which also has magnesium in it, and that will kind of help as well. I do that myself a couple times a day, and I do not suffer from insomnia at all. I sleep very peacefully at night. And then If it's not the magnesium that's keeping you awake, you've tried that for 7 days and nothing's getting better, then you might want to up your carb intake for a few days and see if that levels things out for you. Just make sure when you do that, you do pick a carb that will be within your nutritional guidelines. So maybe some brown rice, some beans, maybe some quinoa, or maybe a sweet potato, and then just make sure you put some nice fat with that to kind of balance out those sugars. And maybe read, get away from the TV, and just do some things that will put your mind and your body in a relaxed state right before you lay down to go to sleep, and see if that might help as well. So let me see if we have any questions here. Hey, Teresa, good to see you. Maria, how are you? Faith, all my ladies are here. Rona, Stephanie, Pamela. Okay, let's see. Melissa's here. Tiffany. Wow, all my girls are here. Betty, hello. Betty from Oregon. Glad to see you for the last couple of days. How are you? I've been having my 2-year-old great nephew. I basically pass out at night. Hey, that'll do. Or have your great nephews or grandkids or kids running you around. What if you add liquid minerals to your water? Yeah, you can add liquid minerals too, Pamela. So any way that you can get those minerals into your water throughout the day, then I would say that, do whatever you can. I personally just kind of like to buy the bottles because I like the water in and of itself. So it's a really easy thing for me to do, and it's really convenient for me, and it's right here at my local Walmart. I always just tell my friends who are watching that live around me, that live close to me, that's my water at Walmart. Don't go and buy my water. And so when I go there, there's no more water left. I just call dibs on that. So if you're local to my area and you're watching this and you need to drink mineralized water, go somewhere else to buy your mineralized water. Don't buy up all mine. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously. But I did go there on Sunday and we bought it all out. So if you're looking for some, they don't have any unless they restocked. So insomnia, pretty common for intermittent fasters. It's super easy to take care of. Listen to those signs and signals that your body is sending you. Again, in my Intermittent Fasting for Aging Women's course, I teach you what those signals are when your body is screaming at you, what you can do to take care of them naturally so that your body can level out and be kind to you because you're doing some things to be kind to it. If you want to join my May Intermittent Fasting group, the spaces are super limited. I think at last count there was like 4 spaces left for my May group. I do limit the number of women that I take in each month because I give you my undivided personal attention in the group, and I address anything that you have going on with you in your body systems and signals personally with you one-on-one. So I can only take on so many women each group. And I also give you a 30-minute consultation call where I work one-on-one with you to try to help you get a plan devised to help you meet your health and fitness goals and help you work in intermittent fasting so that you can incorporate it as a lifestyle for you for not only the obvious weight loss benefits of intermittent fasting, but also to create a self-healing and healthy body that will sustain many things that life throws at us and will help you live a healthy and fulfilling life for yourself and your family. So if you want in, definitely hop on it quick. As soon as we hit capacity, I do have to shut it down. I will always post a link below, or you can hit my Facebook timeline photo. There's a link there. And on YouTube, I always post links right below this video. So just click on one of those and you can get some information and register right there on that course page. So I thank you guys for joining me tonight. If you are an intermittent faster, or maybe you're just a woman whose hormones are out of balance and you're suffering from some insomnia, all these tips will work for you as well. I always say give it a 7-day test. So anything that you do with your body nutritionally, always give it about 7 days to run its course through your body before you decide if it's a failure or a success for you. Oftentimes we get a little bit impatient and we tend to jump off things right before we see the benefits from it. So give it that full 7-day test run on your body, and I'm sure you will be seeing some results. So Epsom salts, stay away from the TV, take a hot bath, maybe move your workout routine a little bit or change your workout schedule for a little bit. and then see if that insomnia is relieved for you. Thanks so much for joining me tonight, you guys. If you have any questions and you are catching this on the rebroadcast, definitely feel free to post them below. I always go back and revisit the comments, and I will answer them for you personally. And if you're visiting me on YouTube, again, please feel free to leave some comments. I will get them answered for you, or just acknowledge the fact that you were here. I always appreciate you stopping by and taking the time to leave me a comment. And if I don't have an answer for you and you have a question, I always do my best to either find an answer for you or direct you in the area in which you can find an answer for yourself. So thanks so much for joining me. I will see you guys tomorrow night again at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time right here on Facebook, or you can catch me the next morning on YouTube.